Welcome back to the show. XRP supply shock. It could happen sooner than we think. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. We got a new hot trailer for XRP Las Vegas. Did you get your ticket yet?
XRP community, the SEC versus Ripple case is over. Now the path is clear, and the celebration at XRP Las Vegas 2025 just went 10x. And you need to be there May 30th and 31st at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Hear from White House Crypto Council members on stage, including Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Giancarlo. You'll also hear from Dr. Christopher Brummer from Blueprint. And one lucky builder developer will win a $25,000 prize for the best Web3 project idea. Go to the EasyA app to register for your chance to win $25K. The excitement is building for XRP Las Vegas 2025, the world's largest XRP conference. Get your tickets now and lock in.
No doubt about it, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be straight fire. Listen, this is an investment into yourself over the course of 2 days. And you are going to learn things at this conference that you will not learn anywhere else. One builder developer is going to win $25,000 for the best project or idea that's going on over the course of those 2 days. That's exactly right. With the help of EasyA, we are going to get that to those builders. This is going to be the greatest connection of bringing builders and developers together with the retail crowd so they can create the synergy together to build their ideas. This should have been done years ago, and we're doing it now. This is going to be a remarkable conference. I hope you get your ticket. I want to meet each and every one of you. And very quickly right here, you could join us in the Freedom Zone today, and you're not going to want to miss it. All you got to do is click that join button right there. Every single video, every single day with 0 Google ads. That in itself is worth the price of admission. And let me tell you something. It's worth the cost of one of these per month. Are you kidding me right now? That's value. You can enjoy this for 20 minutes. You can enjoy what we're doing every month. Every day of every month, you're going to have something to get into. And you know what I mean? Just hit that join button and join us in there. Let's get started right here. First of all, we got to do the numbers real quick. It's 239. We're ranging between 238, 251. Very quickly, $2.85 trillion market cap. The market's off 3.4, 83,900 plus for a Bitcoin, 1,900 plus for Ethereum. XRP at the number 4 spot. Even though we're off 4% on the 24, we're up 2.9 on the 7-day. The whole market is being suppressed at the moment. Let's listen to Cathie Wood as she issues a warning about millions of meme coins.
That the millions of meme coins will probably end up worthless. So when we're talking about the big three, we're talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana.
Wait a minute. No, Cathie. No, you're a VC. That's why Solana made the big three. It's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP.
The use cases for those are multiplying. And we think they're going to become very important in the years ahead. Meme coins, not so.
What about Trump's meme coin? Is that one of the ones that you think will become worthless, Cathie?
You know, it's interesting. The meme coins will be collector's items. So digital collector's items. And so, of course, some will withstand will withstand the judgment of time. And that may be one of them. But our working assumption is that when you're talking about millions of meme coins, you know that that's just a step too far, and that most of them are not going to be worth very much.
It is a market that everybody realizes that, you know, it's just a tradable market of complete speculation and memorabilia, right? Look at it like a baseball card. But Trump may be a rookie Babe Ruth, right? So, that may hold its value where others may not. So, look, a pretty clear statement from Kathy there. And I think we all kind of knew that. But I want to show that just to show, like, hey, let's get a snapshot of where we are right now. So you see what the pundits are saying and the investors, top industry leaders here are saying about meme coins. Be careful. Have fun with it, but be careful. Judging by the 10 million plus views on this video from Brad Garlinghouse, the original video here, I'd say the world is embracing the recent Ripple victory, which is now at 10.7 million, right? This is still surreal to me. I don't know about you guys, but this is still very surreal to me in the best way. It is an incredible moment for all of us. Brad, Ripple, thank you. Let's effing go, ladies and gentlemen. And we also heard yesterday President Trump, for the first time ever, address a digital asset summit, becoming the first U.S. president to ever do so. Let's listen to that quick comment and statement right now. Take a listen.
A very big hello to everyone at the Blockworks Digital Assets Summit. It's an honor to speak with you about how the United States is going to dominate crypto and the next generation of financial technologies. And it's not going to be easy, but we're way ahead. Just 2 weeks ago, we hosted the first ever White House Digital Asset Summit, bringing together many of the world's top leaders in crypto for a conversation led by our White House AI and crypto czar, David Sachs, who's a fantastic and very brilliant guy. That same week, I signed an order creating the brand new strategic Bitcoin reserve and a U.S. digital asset stockpile, which will allow the federal government to maximize the value of its holdings instead of foolishly selling them for a fraction of their long-term value, which is exactly what Biden did. He got a fraction of their value. We're ending the last administration's regulatory war on crypto and Bitcoin, and that includes stopping the lawless Operation Choke Point 2.0. Operation Choke Point went beyond regulation, and I mean far beyond. It was a form of lawfare through government weaponization. Frankly, it was a disgrace. But as of January 20th, 2025, all of that is over. I've also called on Congress to pass landmark legislation creating simple, common sense rules for stablecoins and market structure. With the right legal framework, institutions large and small will be liberated to invest, innovate, and take part in one of the most exciting technological revolutions in modern history. It's so big, it's, I think, as big as you can get. Pioneers like you will be able to improve our banking and payment system and promote greater privacy, safety, security, and wealth for American consumers and businesses alike. You will unleash an explosion of economic growth, and with the dollar-backed stablecoins, you'll help expand the dominance of the U.S. dollar, and many, many years to come, it'll be at the top, and that's where we want to keep it. We only want to keep it at the top, always. I can already see that the energy and passion of the crypto community is the kind of spirit that built our country, and it is exciting to watch as you invent the future of finance. And right here, it's going to be right here in the USA, the good old USA. Together, we will make America the undisputed Bitcoin superpower and the crypto capital of the world. Thank you. Good luck. God bless America.
No doubt about it. And let's say, look, and how are they going to get this Bitcoin, right? Remember, they have this Bitcoin strategic reserve, but they're not allowed to buy Bitcoin with taxpayer money. Well, that's interesting. We're going to get into that in a second, too, because I think we've got it. Eleanor Terrett reminds all of us here, new from President Trump's pick of the SEC chair, Paul Atkins will face the banking GOP next Thursday for his nomination hearing. Trump's pick for the OCC, Jonathan Gould, will also have his hearing as well. So this is wonderful news. This could be pushed off, to April or May, but it's happening next week. Things are moving so quickly now. And I know that all of us have been in this space for so long, don't feel that way necessarily, but it really is. I mean, we're talking about the government. These things are happening very fast. Now, how would the Bitcoin be bought? Remember Bo Hines, we covered this. I want you to listen to this clip and listen to the way this gentleman breaks this down, because I think he's on to something.
And also give credence to I found something that is incredible and will blow your mind, and it's hinted in this video. Listen.
Well, we delivered on the president's promises that he made on the campaign trail. The president was adamant about creating the SBR. We wanted to make sure that we did it right in a way that respected Bitcoin for being so unique, and also gave credence to innovation in other spaces of the digital asset world. So, for us here, we look at Bitcoin, it's not a security, it's a commodity. It has intrinsic stored value that's traditionally accepted. It has, as David likes to describe, the immaculate conception. There's no issuer. And, that's why, as you saw in the executive order, we compared this to digital gold. It's something that's imperative for the United States to have, retain, continue to build on. And I think that's worth pointing out that, the way that this is constructed, we talked about ways of acquiring more Bitcoin in budget neutral ways that won't cost the taxpayer a dime. And what I like to say about this president, I think it's high time that our president started accumulating assets for the American people, which is what President Trump is doing, rather than taking it away. And I think that's one thing that we really wanted to make clear in this executive order. And we're looking forward to working with our partners at Treasury.
Our partners at Treasury.
And the Secretary of Commerce in order to find those budget neutral ways in which we can acquire more. I've been asked all the time, it's like, how much do you want? And I said, well, that's like asking a country, how much gold do you want?
You might be wondering who this guy is and why you've never seen him. Well, his name is Bo Hines. He's the Executive Director of Digital Assets, and he's a person you should really listen to. Now, we all know that Donald Trump signed an executive order to create the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve. But in that details of that reserve, it states something very, very clear, that they would not use tax assets to buy Bitcoin. This made everyone in crypto really uncomfortable and was like, well, then what's the point? If the US government isn't buying, then what's the point of this reserve? Well, they said they're not buying with tax dollars, but in that video, there was a hint. And when I heard it, it blew my mind. If you like what we're doing here, consider like, sharing, and following. It doesn't cost you much, but it really helps the channel. See, he said he's going to be talking to the Treasury to see how to buy as much Bitcoin as possible, how that can be done without tax assets. And the word Treasury should give you that understanding. How does the Treasury gain money? They issue bonds. They want to buy Bitcoin. Are they going to issue a Bitcoin bond? Are they going to issue a Bitcoin treasury bond that they're going to give a yield that will mature in 20 years' time to then buy Bitcoin, which can only increase in assets and in value the more it's bought?
I think he's got it. I think he's got it. They'll issue a Bitcoin bond, and they may issue XRP bonds. Oh, brother, I hope this is hitting you the way it's hitting me. Shout out to Chris Giancarlo. He's going to be on stage with me for another fireside chat this year, and I don't mind telling you, it was straight fire last year. He presented here the Digital Dollar Project's comprehensive review for digital modernization of the U.S. dollar. Well, let me tell you something. XRP Snakey says here, U.S. digital dollar will be built on the XRP ledger. Every time you utilize the network to pay in stablecoin, you'll be burning 0.000012 XRP. The XRP ledger is the infrastructure for the Internet of Value. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. Now, he doesn't say it in there, and it stays neutral of mentioning any other protocol, but it does call for this, and it is beautifully written. It lays it out absolutely amazing here. The tokenization forms of fiat currencies gain broader adoption. And it's critical that the U.S. play a leading role in establishing the standards and frameworks that ensure the primacy of the dollar and all that it represents. There's no question about it. And this will require active, as it said here, collaboration between broader cross-border relationships, blah, 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 blah. You get it. I'm showing it to you because it is a great write-up. I'm showing it to you because we also know that we are still waiting for the real USD to take effect. And Brad Garlinghouse said in this interview on Bloomberg that he expects the real USD to be one of the top 5 stable coins by the end of the year. And we don't even really see it being used broadly yet. So what does he know?
If you think about the next forefront of stablecoins, now that the U.S. is getting toward clarity, what's possible?
Well, again, I think we're underestimating how big that might get. You know, today that market's about $230 billion. So I think some smart people think that may go up 10x in the next 5 years. I think that's probably right. I mean, the two leading players in Tether as well as USDC are both, I think, poised to do well in that market. Ripple launched our own stablecoin at the end of last year. That's already ahead of our own internal forecasts in terms of where we are at this point in the year. Still, we're small, but the goal is by the end of the year for RLUSD, Ripple stablecoin, to be one of the top 5 in the market by the end of the year. And I think the whole market's going to grow dramatically over this year.
So what does it take you to get there? Who are you pairing up with? Are you creating some financial partnerships in order to make RLUSD more of a household name?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even today we had more listings go live for RLUSD on some global crypto exchanges. Anytime you do something new, it takes a minute for that kind of, the pun of the ripple effect of seeing how that plays out. And so we're seeing that happen in real time. So I'm really pleased. And again, as I said, we're ahead of our Q1 forecasts of where we expect it to be. So we feel really good about that progress.
There you have it. We're going to see the real USD be able to be one of the top 5 stable coins by the end of the year. What does Brad Garlinghouse know? Well, I'll tell you this. We do know that Ripple and Ondo Finance are already bringing tokenized T-bills to the XRP ledger. Well, this leads into a greater conversation. Tokenized T-bills on the XRP ledger. We're talking about issuance of a Bitcoin bond from the U.S. Treasury. Could we see an XRP bond? How about this? I covered this yesterday, and I don't think it quite got the attention, but I think it's worth getting the attention. How about the possibility of an XRP supply shock? We've all talked about the idea. We've all talked about the idea that the U.S. government could get the escrow some shape, way, or form, right? And I certainly believe that is some shape, way, or form is going to happen. If we're right about what we understand about the full-scale intended use of XRP, I do believe that that will happen. Or they make Ripple systemically important so the government can essentially control it, right? So one way or the other, that's how I think that goes. But we'll see, and we'll find out just where it goes. But it's interesting, in this little clip here, I want you to listen how Brad Garlinghouse at the end says, at some point, maybe we won't sell as much. We'll see how that plays out in the future. So imagine if the escrow stopped its monthly releases, just for starters. Take a listen. Conversation right here. Let's go to that right there.
I have one more question for you about Ripple and XRP in particular, on the supply and how it's managed and the unlocks. Is there anything you would do to change the amount of supply brought to market? Can you do that? How does that exactly work? Because there is a level of dilution for XRP when more supply is brought in on a regular basis.
So this is one of the things I'm glad you asked about, because there's frankly misinformation, sometimes disinformation, people spreading falsehoods out there. The amount of XRP that was created in 2012 when it was first started, when that blockchain was first started, was 100 billion units. That can't be increased. It's slightly deflationary, and now there's about 99.9 billion units. Ripple owns about 42% of that supply. We have had, and for, I guess, 8 years, we published something called the XRP Markets Report, where we share how much we are introducing into the market, because we want that to be predictable. And that has been the case for many years now. And so we will continue to make sure that's very predictable. At some point, maybe we won't be selling as much. We'll see how that plays out in the future. But right now, frankly, we get criticized for owning too much, and then we're criticized for selling some. But we want to do that in a constructive way, which is what we've done for years.
This has been a long...
Now, what's interesting is that last little bit there, I want you to hear this part.
that blockchain was first started was 100 billion units. That can't be increased. It's slightly deflationary, and now there's about 99.9 billion units. Ripple owns about 42% of that supply. We have had, and for, I guess, 8 years, we published something called the XRP Markets Report, where we share how much we are introducing into the market, because we want that to be predictable. And that has been the case for many years now. And so we will continue to make sure that's very predictable. At some point, maybe we won't be selling as much to make sure that's very predictable. At some point, maybe we won't be selling as much. We'll see how that plays out to make sure that's very predictable. At some point, maybe we won't be selling as much. We'll see how that plays out in the future.
Yeah. And what would make you say that, Brad? Could could the U.S. be working out a deal with Ripple to become the steward of that escrow? I don't know. Asking for a friend. Or maybe they issue an XRP bond and they let everybody buy it up off of the XRP bonds and they stop issuing the escrow drops every month. This is the kind of speculation that I just absolutely love. Where it goes, nobody knows. But I tell you what, the fact that we got our bags full and we're sitting here to figure it out with full bags makes me feel pretty darn good about where we're going. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. We're going into the freedom zone. And today we're going to jump in and hear somebody from Doge and the mission to cut waste, fraud, and abuse. We're going to get into it right now. Click that join button. You'll want to be in here too. Remember, it's the investment of a lifetime. It's for the cost of a cup of coffee, a fancy frappalapa chapalini, or whatever the hell they call them these days. You can be in here too. It's worth the price of admission. I love it in here. I'm going in right now. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. Let's get started.